Filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode here to recap week 11 for y'all real quick before I go to work. And I'm going to give you your week 12 Tuesday night previews tonight, so make sure you look out for that. Also, look out for a YouTube short about the Champions Classic tonight. I will do a YouTube short about that. But before I get into the episode, I'd like to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps the network. It helps my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. I'm going to briefly run down the shows real quick. We got the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, which they had announced that they are going to a new schedule. Now it's just Tuesdays and Fridays. Don't know the time, but I know it's Tuesdays and Fridays. Unfazed, every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, Joe and AJ. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Baseball season is over, so just be on the lookout for episodes here and there. We have Dave Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sports. We have Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, obviously fantasy football. We have Real Ballers Only, RBO, that's Vaughn, NBA content. We have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. Sacramento Kings played last night, took an ugly loss to the Spurs. Joe will do, he does post-game recaps and stuff like that with the Kings. We have In the Red Corner, who just went live Sunday night, boxing content. All your boxing content goes through there. And I believe that is all the shows we have to offer. So, yeah, that's all the shows we have to offer. So, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and to all those shows as well. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, I normally do poll talk on my recap episodes, but we are now in the era of the playoff commission poll. So, I won't do poll talk today. I will do it tomorrow when I do my rest of the weekday previews. So, be on the lookout for poll talk tomorrow. I'll talk about the polls and everything like that. But the polls do come out tonight by the College Football Committee. But let's just get right into the recaps. We got to start with Tuesday night where Bowling Green gets a 23-13 win over Central Michigan. Bowling Green, a really good MAC team. Like I said, MAC was back. I'm going to give a brief preview. So this game was really hard for it. Central Michigan, honestly, if Central Michigan can actually throw the ball, they would have had a chance to win this game. But they had a non-existent passing game. I think they only completed like one pass in the first half, and that was really the saving grace for Bowling Green. Now, Harold Fannin had a really good game. Marion Lukes for Central Michigan had a good game, but like I said, the difference in this one, Central Michigan really couldn't get the passing game going. The Central Michigan passing defense was really well, but the defense kept them in it. They just could not sustain touchdown drives. But let's get into it. So Bowling Green will start with a 32-yard field goal. Central Michigan will start with a bunt. With 12:55 left in the second quarter, Bowling Green will score a 36-yard field goal. With 2:28 left in the second quarter, Bowling Green will score a 37-yard field goal. Then Central Michigan will score a 1-yard Tyler Jefferson touchdown run, set up by Tyler Jefferson 44-yard run. Then Central Michigan will start the second half with a Tyler Jefferson fumble, leading to a 9-yard Levi Gazarek touchdown catch. Then Bowling Green will have a 27-yard field goal blocked, which will lead to a turnover on downs, 4th and 4. Marion Lukes had a 3-yard gain on 4th and 4, which will lead to a punt. And then Bowling Green will score a 1-yard Jason Patterson touchdown run. Central Michigan will score a 1-yard Jaden Glazer touchdown run set up by a Gavin Harris 25-yard catch. The 2-point will be no good. Central Michigan will attempt an onside kick, and it will fail, and that will lead to the end of the game. So that's your first game for Tuesday night. Like I said, man, Central Michigan cannot get a passing game going. And we move on to a more electric first half, second half, not so much. Miami of Ohio wins 27-21. By the way, I did pick Bowling Green, and I did pick Miami of Ohio in this one. So Miami of Ohio went 27-21 against Ball State. Now, Ball State gave Miami of Ohio problems in the first half. They were moving the ball. They were hitting big plays. Ball State was hitting big plays in the first half. Miami of Ohio did a great job second half, minimizing those big plays, and that led to Miami of Ohio kicking 2 field goals, I believe, in the second half to win the game. But yeah, I just think that was the difference in the ball game. Ball State were not able to get as many of those big plays they got in the first half. Now, Justin Bowick, he had a phenomenal game for Ball State, a really great game for Ball State. But like I said, Miami of Ohio limited those big plays. Not to say they didn't happen, but they were limited, and they were able to keep them out the end zone, not in the second half, but late in the game to win 27-21. Let's get into it. So Miami of Ohio starts with a 3-and-out punt. Ball State starts with the Caden Somoza interception, which will lead to a botched punt pick 6. So what happened was the guards fumbled the snap. Then he was on his way down. He just threw it and threw a pick 6. And that was caught by Brandon Berger. Then Miami would score a 34-yard Reggie Virgil touchdown catch, set up by Reggie Virgil 41-yard catch, who he had a big game as well. Ball State would score a 27-yard field goal. Then Miami of Ohio scored a 12-yard Kevin Davis touchdown catch set up by Keon Mosey, 25-yard run. Ball State would score a 21-yard field goal. Miami would score a 10-yard Javon Tracy touchdown catch set up by Javon Tracy, 30-yard catch. And then Ball State's Caden Somoza would throw an interception before the half, basically on a Hail Mary. Then Ball State would start the second half with a punt. Miami would have started the second half with a punt. Ball State would score a 55-yard Justin Bowie touchdown catch, and the 2-point would be good. Then with 11-13 left in the fourth quarter, Miami of Ohio scores a 28-yard field goal. And then with 1 minute, 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Miami of Ohio would score a 39-yard field goal. And then Ball State turnover on downs, 4th and 17, passes incomplete, leading to the end of the game. So like I said, man, big plays, the pick 6. Special teams, big play, but that was cut. And they gave up one 55-yard touchdown pass to Justin Bowick. But other than that, could not score in the second half. And I credit to Miami of Ohio's defense for that. Big win for them as we move on to Wednesday night recap, which I don't have that one first. I should have had it. I'll just do this. I tried to call my shot with Western Michigan beating Northern Illinois, and it was looking good. But a fake punt interception kind of killed momentum, and then Western Michigan was it had a stretch where they come out of halftime, they score, and give up a kickoff return the very next kickoff. Then I believe they throw a pick. It was just turnovers and special teams. It was just bad. They would just find the ways to kill momentum and lose the game. If you ask me, like I said, the fake punt was unnecessary. If you're going to go for it on 4th and 6, just go for it. No need to fake a punt and throw a pick. Then you can give up a kickoff return touchdown after you score coming out the half. Just can't happen. And then he throws back-to-back interceptions, Hayden Wolf. It was just meltdown after meltdown. But like I said, we got to keep it pushing. So Northern Illinois would start with a 3-and-out punt. Western Michigan would start with a 3-and-out punt. Western Michigan would score a 66-yard Jaden Nixon touchdown run. Then Northern Illinois' Ontario Brown, he would fumble. I'm not gonna lie, that looked like a hip drop tackle. I don't know if that's a penalty in college, but he did get hurt for the remainder of the game on that play. And that would lead to a fake punt interception, which would lead to a 6-yard Telly Johnson touchdown run. Telly Johnson had an amazing game for NIU, coming in for Ontario Brown. NIU would then score a 7-yard Tristan Tewes touchdown catch, set up by Grayson Barnes, 31-yard catch. Then Western Michigan would score a 14-yard Jaden Nixon touchdown run, set up by Kenneth Walkmack, 28-yard catch. NIU would score a 5-yard Gavin Williams touchdown catch, set up by Trayvon Rudolph, 12-yard catch. Then Western Michigan would start the second half with a 1-yard Brock Lowry touchdown run, set up by 61-yard Jaden Nixon kickoff return. And like I said, the very next kickoff, NIU's Cam Thompson would take a 91 yards to the crib for a kickoff return touchdown. Then Western Michigan's Hayden Wolf would throw an interception leading to a 2-yard Gavin Williams touchdown run. Then Hayden Wolf would throw another interception leading to a 26-yard Telly Johnson touchdown run. Then Western Michigan would score a 10-yard Marcion Habowski touchdown catch. Set up by Zamir Abdus Salam, 19-yard run. And then NIU would miss a 43-yard field goal, but that would lead to a turnover on downs, 4th and 4, passes incomplete, which would lead to the end of the game. Like the turnovers and special teams hurt Western Michigan in this game. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this next one. I did pick Ohio to win, and they won in a shutout fashion, 41-zip. Kent State just couldn't sustain any offense. They couldn't sustain first downs. They kept putting themselves in third downs. They kept getting off the field. Ohio's Anthony Titus did play, and he looked very good in this game. Ohio offense just was too much. Defense was too much, too. And obviously, when you win by shutout, it shows. So let's just get into it. Kent State starts with a 3-and-out punt. Ohio starts with a 42-yard field goal. Ohio scores a 19-yard Anthony Titus touchdown run set up by Coleman Owen 22-yard catch, who, by the way, he later on had a punt return that looked sweet, by the way. Coleman Owen had a really good game. With 19 seconds left in the first quarter, Kent State's Raul Tomlinson interception leads to a 36-yard field goal. Oh, I did mean to talk about this real quick. I don't understand what Kenny Burns was doing with not playing Tommy Otowski. I understand he said he wanted to start younger, but Tommy's a junior. He's going to be a senior next year. He can still play. I didn't understand the move to bench him for Tomlinson to get younger, I guess. I guess Tommy's going to enter the transfer portal, and that's why he did it, but I just didn't understand the move. Why don't you just let him finish out the season, let him hit the transfer portal after you're done? You're 0-8 now, currently 0-9. What more? I mean, I guess that's how he was thinking. What do I have to lose playing him? I'm 0-8, but I didn't agree with the move. I thought Tommy should have just started and finished the season. Maybe play Raul in a bowl game and see what you got there in a bowl, or not a bowl game. Excuse me. Oh my God. Excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. Play Raul in the last game, see what you got there, because Tommy's then is going to transfer. But it is what it is. He did it now. I didn't like it, but nothing I can do. I just can't believe I just did a bowl game. My God. Leads to a 36-yard field goal. Ohio scores a 3-yard Parker Navarro touchdown run set up by Coleman Owen 20-yard catch. I got it. There you go. Ohio misses a 55-yard field goal before half. And then Ohio starts the second half with a 96-yard kickoff return touchdown. And that was Iman Dennis. Kent State starts the second half with a turnover on downs, 4 for 6, Raul Tomlinson 2-yard run, which will lead to a punt. Kent State 3-and-out. Then on that 3-and-out, Coleman Owen will have the 61-yard punt return touchdown I was talking about. Then Ohio's Anthony Titus will fumble, but that would lead to a 3-and-out punt. Ohio will score a 7-yard Bryce Butler touchdown catch set up. That was thrown by Nick Paulus, set up by Ricky Hunt, 35-yard run. And then Ohio's turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Duncan Bruce, no gain, leads to a 3-and-out punt. And that'd be a ball game. Like I said, wins in shutout fashion. Now we move on to Thursday night, where I picked Coastal Carolina to win at home against App State. It's always lovely to see a Coastal Carolina App State matchup. But to be honest, Coastal Carolina's run game was just way too much for App State. I figured App State's defense is as it's been shown, it's not good enough to stop Coastal from running the ball and put him in passing situations. Ethan Vasco barely had to do much with his arm Thursday night. Braden Bennett had a pretty good game, 3 touchdowns on the day through the ground. So that ground game was unstoppable. Plus, Aguilar, too many turnovers. I think he had a pick. He had a sack fumble, put App State in the hole. They went in the hole by themselves, down 17-0 early. Tried to climb out of it, but Coastal, as they got closer, got some more separation. But let's get into it. So Coastal starts with a 12-yard Braden Bennett touchdown run, set up by Braden Bennett 25-yard catch. App State starts with a Joey Aguilar fumble, leading to a Braden Bennett 37-yard touchdown run. App State, Joey Aguilar would then throw an interception, leading to a 29-yard field goal. App State would score a 38-yard field goal. Then App would come down and score a 2-yard Amani Marshall touchdown run, set up by Joey Aguilar, 49-yard run. Then App State on 4th and 10 passes incomplete, which would lead to halftime. Coming out of half, App State would start with a 3-and-out punt, and Coastal would start with a 2-yard Braden Bennett touchdown run. And that was a 17-play drive. App State's Joey Aguilar would then throw an interception, which would lead to a 1-yard Ethan Vasco touchdown run. App State would then score a 2-yard Amani Marshall touchdown run, set up by Amani Marshall 17-yard run. And then App State would turn the ball over on downs on 4th and 31. Joey Aguilar sack, which would lead to a 6-yard Jamison Tucker touchdown catch. Now, I will say that they were down 7 late in the ballgame, and that's why they went for it. And then App State would score a 25-yard. No, they were down 21, I think. They were down 14, trying to make it 7, turn it over, then went down 21. And then App State would score the 25-yard Caden Robinson touchdown catch, set up by defensive penalties, and not be a ball game. Like I said, Coastal on the ground just was too much for the App State defense. And we move on to a blowout Thursday night. Eastern Carolina wins 49-14 against FAU. Now, I did try to call my shot with FAU. And Cam Fancher, he got hurt. Cam Fancher got hurt, but that wasn't the reason they lost. ECU just jumped out on them early. Caden Hauser had an amazing game through the air. I think 5 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. FAU cannot stop the aerial assault of Caden Hauser and ECU. Now, Cam Fancher did get hurt. The backup comes in. I think he got hurt, but then he came back later. It was just a quarterback bonanza of injuries. And even with those injuries, FAU was still running a quarterback, which was kind of crazy to me because I'm like, bro, okay, you're down to your 3rd string. You're still running design quarterback runs. This is kind of crazy. But you got to run the offense, I guess. But ECU was just way too much for FAU. And they won in blowout fashion at home. 49-14. So let's go over it real quick. So ECU will start with a 50-yard Chase Sewell touchdown catch, set up by Tyler Savage 25-yard catch. FAU will start with a 3-and-out punt. ECU will score a 47-yard Winston Wright touchdown catch, set up by Raji Harris 19-yard run. Then ECU will score a 8-yard Winston Wright touchdown catch, set up by Jari Patterson 30-yard run. Then FAU turnover on downs 4th and 12. Keeson Wiseman 7-yard run leads to a 52-yard field goal miss, which will lead to a 2-yard Jabari Smith touchdown catch. With 1:18 left in the second quarter, ECU scores a 1-yard Raji Harris touchdown run, set up by Anthony Smith 64-yard catch. ECU would then score a 35-yard Caden Hauser touchdown run, set up by Caden Hauser 14-yard run. Then FAU will start the second half with a Tariq Starks interception, leads to a 46-yard Anthony Smith touchdown catch. FAU will start with a Keeson Wiseman interception, which will lead to a Javonte Connor 2-yard touchdown catch. And then FAU will score a 2-yard CJ Campbell touchdown catch, set up by Xavier Terrell 29-yard run. And that'll be a ball game. Again, blowout fashion, ECU wins. And we move on to Friday night. And we have to start with Cal at Wake Forest. Cal will win 46-36 on the road. I did pick Cal to win this game. And the reason why I picked Cal to win this game is while both teams were pretty bottom of the barrel in the ACC, Wake Forest defense is disgusting. Wake Forest defense is the reason why I picked Cal to win. While Wake Forest has a really good offense led by Hank Bachmeier, the slow match, DeMond Claiborne in the backfield, I just didn't trust that defense to get many stops, and it didn't. It got an interception here and there. It got some plays at times, but obviously when the team put up 46, now you can say the last touchdown was a garbage touchdown trying to kill the clock, whatever. They didn't. It just was not a good defensive showing as I expected from Wake Forest. Felt like Mendoza and the guys would take advantage of it, and they did. Cal will start with a 29-yard field goal, while Wake Forest will start with a kickoff return fumble picked up by Miles Williams and scored for a 16-yard touchdown run. Cal's Frankie Mendoza would then throw an interception, which will lead to a 1-yard DeMond Claiborne touchdown run. With 13:27 left in the second quarter, Cal scored an 11-yard Mikey Matthews touchdown catch set up by Jaden Ott 19-yard run. Then Cal will score a 38-yard field goal. Cal turnover downs 4th and 2, passes incomplete, leading to a 44-yard DeMond Claiborne touchdown catch. Cal would then score a 2-yard Tobias Merriweather touchdown catch set up by Jonathan Brady 20-yard catch, and the 2-point is no good. Then Cal would score a 54-yard field goal. Then Wake Forest would start the second half with a Hank Bachmeier interception, which will lead to a punt. Wake Forest will score a 45-yard Donovan Green touchdown catch set up by Taylor Moore 23-yard catch. Wake Forest 51-yard field goal is blocked, and that would lead to a 5-yard Frankie Mendoza touchdown run. Wake Forest would then score a 4-yard Hank Bachmeier touchdown run. DeMond Claiborne set that up with an 18-yard run, and the 2-point would be good. The pass was a little bit less dangerous on replay, but when I first seen it, I was like, how did he complete that pass? Cal scores a 54-yard field goal. Then Wake Forest scores a 2-yard Tate Carney touchdown run set up by Taylor Moore, 17-yard catch. And then Wake Forest's Hank Bachmeier interception would lead to an 11-yard Javion Thomas touchdown run. And then Hank Bachmeier would throw another interception to end the ball game. And like I said, the 11-yard touchdown run by Javion Thomas, that was on the game-killing drive. Frankie Mendoza could have scored like a couple plays before that, but he went down. Javion Thomas probably should have went down as well, but he didn't. Next, we have Iowa 17 at UCLA 20. Now, I did pick Iowa to win this. I did think Iowa would be able to run the ball more efficiently than they did. Actually, Iowa big plays came through the air to Jacob Gill. UCLA did a really good job stopping the run, stopping Caleb Johnson, and they were able to overcome 2 interceptions and a fumble by Ethan Garbers to win this game, which is crazy. You tell me UCLA has 3 turnovers against Iowa, I say Iowa wins in a blowout, but they did not. UCLA were able to overcome. TJ Harden had a pretty good game. They did a really good job on the ground, UCLA did, and they were able to pull this game out. Now, they did. When it was 17-10, Iowa kicked the field goal. They made it, but they had a stupid penalty, the leveraging penalty, and Iowa was able to take advantage and tie the game up. UCLA then goes down and scores 3, and it doesn't give up any points. But let's talk about it. So, UCLA starts with the Ethan Garbers interception, which will lead to a 2-yard Caleb Johnson touchdown run. UCLA's Ethan Garbers will throw another interception, leading to a 24-yard field goal. UCLA will score a 57-yard field goal. Then Iowa's Brandon Sullivan Brandon Sullivan had a bevy of turnovers too. That's what kept him in the game as well. I think he had 2 picks and a fumble as well to match. Brandon Sullivan interception leads to a 2-yard Titus Makoa Atamalala touchdown catch. Iowa's Brendan Sullivan would then fumble, which will lead to a Ethan Garber's fumble, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. The UCLA will score a 29-yard Logan Lawyer touchdown catch. Iowa will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. UCLA will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Iowa's Brendan Sullivan throws an interception leading to a 57-yard field goal miss, which will lead to a 1-yard Kamari Bolton touchdown run. And then UCLA will score a 27-yard field goal, which would be your ball game because they were able, I think it was a punt, and then UCLA was able to kill the clock. So that'd be a ball game. But yeah, did a really good job of they did a really good job of stopping the run for Iowa. Oh, the end of this notebook. It's another retired notebook. Next, we got Rice at Memphis. I picked Memphis to win this game. I did pick Iowa to win the last game. So I picked Memphis to win, and Memphis wins 27-20. I figured it'd be a good game. Rice has been playing better football lately, but Memphis should have won. They're the better team. But Memphis is barely winning games. They're doing what they have to do to have a fighting chance for the AAC, but I don't know about them playing in this AAC, man. It's, like I said, looking like Tulane versus Army for the American Athletic Championship. But like I said, Rice has been playing better football. They were able to contain Memphis. I think Seth Hannigan did start with an interception. Memphis is a pretty good passing team, so they're going to do what they do. But really, the MVP of this game was Mario Anderson for what he was able to do on the ground, and I believe he had a touchdown catch through the air. But let's get into it. Rice starts with the punt. Memphis starts with a Seth Hannigan interception, leading to a 25-yard field goal. Rice scores a 28-yard field goal. With 6:21 left in the second quarter, Memphis scores a 9-yard Brendan Doyle touchdown catch, set up by Mario Anderson 13-yard run. Memphis scores a 10-yard Mario Anderson touchdown run, set up by Mario Anderson 37-yard catch. Oh, 31-yard catch, excuse me. Rice scores a 27-yard Matt Sykes touchdown catch, set up by Matt Sykes 29-yard catch. Memphis scores a 42-yard field goal. Then Memphis starts the second half with a punt, while Rice starts the second half with an E.J. Warner fumble leading to a punt. Then Memphis scores a 14-yard Brandon Thomas touchdown run set up by Mario Anderson 34-yard run. With 4:23 in the fourth quarter, Memphis scored a 42-yard field goal, and then Rice will score a 5-yard Elijah Majaro touchdown catch set up by Quentin Jackson 45-yard run. Rice would then kick the ball deep, and Memphis will kill the clock to win the game. So Mario Anderson did not have a touchdown pass through the air, but he did have one on the ground. And he had like over 100 rushing yards. So he had a really good game for the Memphis Tigers. And we're going to move on to our last game. Friday night. I did pick San Diego State to win this game. I thought San Diego State would be able to contain New Mexico's run game. And Eli Sanders said, shut up, Carl, and went for 2 50-plus yard touchdown runs, which were ultimately the difference in this ball game. San Diego State had one touchdown to Marquise Cooper out the backfield. It was a catch. New Mexico, on the other hand, like I said, the 2 50-plus yard runs, that was the difference. So let's get into it. New Mexico wins 21-16. New Mexico was over the 3-and-out punt. San Diego State will start with a punt. New Mexico will score a 51-yard Eli Sanders touchdown run set up by Caleb Mefford's 35-yard catch. San Diego State will score a 22-yard field goal, and then Eli Sanders will score another 68-yard touchdown run set up by Ryan Davis' 13-yard catch. San Diego State will score a 31-yard field goal. New Mexico, turnover downs, 4th and 5, passes incomplete, leading to a punt. San Diego State will then score the 5-yard Marquise Cooper touchdown catch, set up by Michael Harrison's 16-yard catch. San Diego State will start the second half with a punt. New Mexico will start the second half with a punt. San Diego State will score a 28-yard field goal. New Mexico will score an 8-yard Ryan Davis touchdown catch to take the lead, set up by defensive penalties. And then there were 3 punts in between the touchdown and New Mexico killing the last 4-11 in the game to win the game 21-16. So, like I said, difference in that one, the Eli Sanders touchdown runs. So we move on to Saturday, where we had some upset Saturday. I called one of the two. I did not call this one. I thought this would be a potential trap game. I said it would be a potential trap game, and it was a trap game, but I didn't call it. I thought Miami would barely win the game. I thought they would be able to eke it out. But Georgia Tech in that run game was way too much for the Miami Hurricanes. Georgia Tech barely even passed the ball in this game. It was able to pull it out. Now, we all been saying in the college football world that Miami has been playing with fire too long. They're eventually going to get burned, and this is the game that got burned. Really good Georgia Tech team, really well coached by Brent Key. Really good run game. Haynes King came back, but he wasn't Haynes King. But like I said, just ran Miami out of Georgia Tech. So Let's get into it. Miami will lose 23-28, falling from that number 4 rank. Like I said, we'll talk about the polls when the committee drops their rankings. Georgia Tech will start with a 16-yard Jamal Haynes touchdown run, which Jamal Haynes did get hurt. Set up by a 65-yard Jamal Haynes run. Miami will start with a 74-yard Elijah Arroyo touchdown catch to tight end. Then Miami will score a 41-yard field goal. Georgia Tech will score a 5-yard Malik Rutherford touchdown catch set up by Chad Alexander 21-yard run. Then with 2:27 left in the second quarter, Miami turnover on downs 4th and 3, passing incomplete leading to a 3-and-out punt. That would be the first of 3. Then with 2:20, Miami will start the second half with a turnover on downs, 4th and 1, passing incomplete leading to a 15-yard Chase Lane touchdown catch. Then Miami will score an 8-yard Isaiah Horton touchdown catch set up by Xavier Restrepo, 14-yard catch, and the 2-point is no good. Georgia Tech will score a 5-yard Haynes King touchdown run set up by Bailey Stockton, 27-yard catch. Then Miami will turnover on downs, 4th and 16. Cam Ward is actually sacked, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Miami will score a 38-yard Xavier Restrepo touchdown catch, and then that was set up by Jacoby George, 16-yard catch. And then Miami's Cam Ward would sack fumble. The ball is picked up by Georgia Tech. They would get a first down to end the game. Now, I want to talk about this 4th and 16 Cam Ward being sacked. It was 4th and 6. Cam Ward makes a crazy, phenomenal play. I believe for a touchdown, gets called back because of a holding call, which is how it became 4th and 16. He made an amazing play, but he was back there for a long time. His O-line had to block for a long time. I honestly don't blame the O-line for getting a hold. He was back there for at least, I would say 8 to 10 seconds of game time. And he found somebody, but it's hard to hold blocks for that long. And that cost him the game. So Miami now moves on to 9-1. It's funny. I do want to say this before I move on. It's funny. Last year, Georgia Tech prevented me from having predicted Miami's record correct. And it wasn't Georgia Tech's fault. Honestly, Miami's fault for not kneeling the ball, running the ball, fumbling, and then Georgia Tech scoring. That was the one game. Not the one game I got wrong, but that was the game difference. I missed Miami's record by one game. They win that game, I predict their record correctly. Now, because Miami got upset against Georgia Tech with their last 2 games being Wake Forest and Syracuse, which they should win, I will predict Miami's record correctly. So it's funny how that works with Georgia Tech. They burned me last year, but they might have saved me this year. I predicted Miami to go 11-1. But it wasn't that game I had them losing. I had them losing to Louisville, but whatever. Next, we move on to my boy Jay Dart. Ole Miss upsetting Georgia at home. Should have been a night game, but whatever. 28-10. I picked Ole Miss to win this game. Like I said, Georgia's been really struggling. You want to know about struggling? How about not being able to sustain a touchdown drive? Now, yes, they did score a touchdown their first drive because Jackson Dart threw an interception, and they got the ball in the red zone. Other than that, they could not sustain drives to score a touchdown. They could not get the ball off a kickoff and sustain a touchdown drive. Carson Beck is looking fraudulent. I'm not going to harp on this too long. Like I said, I got to keep it pushing. But Carson Beck is looking very fraudulent. In every big game he has played in this year, he has looked very bad. Interceptions against Bama. He had 3, I think. 3 interceptions against Texas. He had 1 interception in this game, but I believe he had 3 turnovers in this game. He has looked bad in every big game. So that's all I'm saying. But Georgia, like I said, Georgia loses 10-28 on the road to Ole Miss. Let's get into it. So Ole Miss starts with a Jackson Dart interception, which he did get hurt. He got hurt on that play, leading to a 2-yard Nate Frazier touchdown run on 4th and goal. They went for it on 4th and goal and got it. Then Ole Miss will score a 9-yard Ulysses Bentley touchdown run set up by Caden Lee, 20-yard catch. That was the backup Austin Simmons, I believe his name is. He led that entire drive. Then Ole Miss will score a 23-yard field goal. Jackson Dart would be back. Then they would score a 43-yard field goal and then a 53-yard field goal. Then Georgia will start the second half with a 23-yard field goal. Ole Miss will start the second half with a 10-yard Juice Wells touchdown catch set up by Caden Lee, 26-yard catch. Then Georgia's Nate Frazier would fumble, leading to a punt. Georgia's Carson Beck would throw an interception, leading to a 24-yard field goal. Georgia's Carson Beck would fumble, leading to a 32-yard field goal. And then on 4th and 20, Arian Smith will have a 17-yard catch, leading to a turnover on downs for Georgia, and that'd be your ball game. So Carson Beck had 2 turnovers, not 3, But nonetheless, he looked bad. Ole Miss gets a much-needed W to stay alive for the college football playoff. I believe Ole Miss plays Texas down the line, so that was a much-needed W. Next, We have Clemson at Virginia Tech, and I did pick Clemson to win this game, mainly because I trusted the run game of Clemson more than I trusted the run game of Virginia Tech, and that was the difference for real. I mean, Cade Klubnik, don't get me wrong, he had some big touchdown passes. I believe he had one to T.J. Moore and one to Antonio Williams. No, he had one to Jake Barnstable and one to T.J. Moore. But Virginia Tech offense couldn't get nothing going. They scored one touchdown off a blocked field goal, and I believe they scored a touchdown at the end of the game. Offense couldn't get anything going. That was a game. Virginia Tech, as you're watching, you're like, Virginia Tech is not expanding on this block field goal lead. It's going to cost them. And it cost them. Clemson got it going, and it was a wrap. Kyron Jones didn't look good. He didn't. I'm sorry. But we'll get let's get into it. So Virginia Tech starts with a 3-and-out punt. Clemson starts with a Cade Klubnik interception leading to a punt. Clemson turnover on downs 4 for 2. Cade Klubnik is sacked, leading to a Kyron Jones fumble, which will lead to the blocked field goal touchdown, scooped up by Quentin Reddish for a 77-yard scoop and score. With 1:10 left in the second quarter, V-Tech misses a 55-yard field goal, which will lead to a 3-and-out punt. Then Clemson will start the second half with a 29-yard Cole Turner touchdown catch set up by Cade Klubnik, 13-yard run. Virginia Tech will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Clemson will score a 41-yard T.J. Moore touchdown catch. Then with 3:58 left in the third quarter, Virginia Tech's Kyron Jones will throw an interception, leading to a 12-yard Jake Barnstable touchdown catch. Then Virginia Tech turnover on downs 4th and 3. Collins should lead 2-yard run, which that would lead to a 3-and-out punt. Then with 6:09 left in the fourth quarter, Collins should lead interception, leading to a 34-yard field goal. Then V-Tech will score a 14-yard Aiden Green touchdown catch set up by Ali Jennings' 22-yard catch. Virginia Tech will fail on the onside kick, and that will lead to the end of your ball game. And we'll just keep it moving. Clemson gets a much needed win to stay at pace in the ACC. Now, with it only being one unbeaten ACC team, and that being SMU, only one loss on the year, but it was to BYU, which is not an ACC opponent. So right now, SMU is in the driving seat for the ACC championship. Clemson, Miami. No, I think it's just Clemson and Miami all tied at second because Pitt loses to UVA, another upset. Shout out UVA. I believe UVA is now currently bowl eligible with that win. But we'll move on to Colorado beating Texas Tech on the road. I picked Colorado to win. I knew they had in the lead back in Taj Brooks, and he did do his thing, but I thought the offense of Colorado would be too much. Mitch, I told y'all, second half, Colorado defense in the second half, for some reason, it just is different. They gave up 7 points until the end of the game where Texas Tech scored the touchdown. Kind of irrelevant, but not only did they hold Texas Tech in the second half mainly to 7. I mean, I'm going to give them 14 because they did score 14, but through the thick of the game, 7. They scored a touchdown on their own. Shiloh picks up a fumble, the awareness to pick it up and score. He scores for the defense. So the defense not only holds them, but they put up points on their own. Like I said, man, that second half defense of Colorado does not get enough credit for what it does. Shout out to them. Shout out to Shador, another lights out performance. As Colorado moves on to 7-2, and they move on, I believe, to sole possession of second place in the Big 12 with the Iowa State loss to Kansas. Iowa State now has lost back-to-back games in the Big 12. Colorado has a loss to Nebraska, which is not Big 12, and they have a loss to Kansas State. So I believe they're in sole possession because Kansas State lost to Houston, and I can't remember who else they lost to, but they lost to somebody else. So shout out the Buffs, man. They looking like they'll be on the road to face BYU in the Big 12 championship. I'm trying to find some for some of the stuff I've said. But let's get into it. Texas Tech will start with a 17-yard Jalen Colliers touchdown catch set up by Josh Kelly, 35-yard catch. Colorado will start with a punt. Texas Tech will score a 53-yard field goal. And Texas Tech will score a 39-yard field goal. With 7:33 left in the second quarter, Colorado scores a 23-yard LeJohntay Wester touchdown catch set up by Will Shepard, 19-yard catch. Colorado will score a 25-yard field goal. The Texas Tech will miss a 53-yard field goal before the half. Colorado starts the second half with a 7-yard Shador Sanders touchdown run set up by LeJohntay Wester, 16-yard catch. The Texas Tech will score a 2-yard Taj Brooks touchdown run set up by Josh Kelly, 20-yard catch. Colorado will score a 5-yard Will Shepard touchdown catch set up by Will Shepard, 17-yard catch. Texas Tech will have a turnover downs, 4 for 5 passes incomplete, leading to Travis Hunter, 24-yard catch. Texas Tech will have another turnover downs, 4 for 9, Baron Morton sacked, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Then Texas Tech, Baron Morton will throw an interception, leading to a 33-yard field goal. Texas Tech, Baron Morton fumbles, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Texas Tech, 4th and goal, turnover on downs. Taj Brooks, 3-yard loss on the 1-yard line, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Texas Tech will finally score a 21-yard Jalen Colliers touchdown catch set up by Taj Brooks' 14-yard catch. And then Colorado will score a 6-yard scoop and score by Shiloh Sanders to put the game away. Like I said, man, that stretch where you have 2 turnover on downs, an interception, a fumble, and then another turnover on downs just speaks to how well this Colorado defense is in the second half. 5 turnovers, including turnover on downs. Just a phenomenal ball game by your Buffs as they move on to 7-2. And I got to talk about my lone loss at the 3 o'clock slot. I almost went for the sweep, and it be your own boys. I picked against my South Carolina Gamecocks. I feel so bad. But Vandy been playing so well on at home. Vandy's bowl eligible. It is a different Vandy. I don't want to say they're not because they lost South Carolina. South Carolina's a really good team, but it's hard for me to judge them. But Rocket Sanders had another big game in a big game. Like I said, when South Carolina win big games, this larger part due to Rocket Sanders. This yet again, South Carolina wins a big game in large part to Rocket Sanders. But I will say this. They did not allow Diego Pavia to get the big plays that he normally gets consistently. He got some because he's Pavia. He's going to get some. But he did not get those big plays in bulk like he normally does. South Carolina actually did a really good job against the Vanderbilt run. They did a really good job getting off the field, and they won the game. Shout out my South Carolina Gamecocks. They are now bowl eligible at 6-3. So shout out Shane Beamer. Beamer ball looks very well alive. And shout out my coach, man. So Vandy will start with a punt. South Carolina will start with a 42-yard field goal miss, which will lead to a punt. Then Lenore Sellers would fumble, leading to a Diego Pavia fumble, leading to a 17-yard John Simon touchdown catch to tight end. Then South Carolina will start the second half with a 33-yard Rocket Sanders touchdown run set up by Jared Brown, 51-yard catch. Vandy will start the second half with a 17-yard Diego Pavia touchdown run set up by a 16-yard Diego Pavia run. Then South Carolina will score a 1-yard Rocket Sanders touchdown run set up by a Rocket Sanders 39-yard run. Then Vandy, 4th and 8, passes incomplete, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Then Vandy will have another turnover on downs, 4th and 1, passes incomplete, leading to a 43-yard Rocket Sanders touchdown catch. And that'd be a ball game. Like I said, Rocket Sanders, amazing game. As we go on to our last game, we have to recap, and that's LSU Alabama. Now, I did pick LSU to win this game. I did. I know mobile quarterbacks give them problems. I know. But LSU offense, I thought would be way more potent against this Alabama defense. I thought LSU with the night crowd, the night game, just that atmosphere, I thought they would come out and play a lot better. And they look flat. They got Alabama in multiple third and long situations and could not get off the field. They just could not do it. And that's what killed them. Not being able to get off the field, Alabama extending drives and allowing Jalen Milroe to get big yards, big plays on the ground. Jalen Milroe did not kill LSU with his arm tonight. Saturday night. He killed them on the ground. Most of those 42 points came from Jalen Milroe touchdown runs. So, shout out to Jalen Milroe and I'm going to just say a spectacular game by you. No pun intended. But yeah, let's get into it, and then we'll hit major performances, and then I'll preview Tuesday night's games, and I'll get up out of here. Bama starts with a 39-yard Jalen Milroe touchdown run set up by Ryan Williams' 19-yard catch. LSU starts with a 23-yard field goal. Then Bama scores a 1-yard Justice Haynes touchdown run set up by Jan Miller 20-yard catch. Then with 8:26 left in the second quarter, LSU scores a 43-yard field goal. Then Bama's turnover on downs, 4th and 1, Jan Miller no gain leads to a Garrett Nussmeier fumble, which will lead to a Jalen Milroe touchdown run, 10 yards. LSU will start the second half with a Garrett Nussmeier interception, leading to a 19-yard Jalen Milroe touchdown run. Bama will score a 72-yard Jalen Milroe touchdown run. Then LSU turnover on downs, 4th and 5, Josh Williams 1-yard catch, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Garrett Nussmeier interception, leading to a 8-yard Richard Young touchdown run. And then LSU scores a garbage 12-yard Kyron Lacey touchdown catch, set up by Kyron Lacey 17-yard catch. That was the turning point in the game. They finally get a stop. Turnover on downs, 4th down, turn the ball over, and immediately give the ball right back to Bama. That was the turning point in the game where I was like, yeah, I picked the wrong side on this one. LSU was just not coming to play. And Bama took advantage. Bama gets a much-needed playoff win, and they pretty much eliminated LSU from making the playoffs in this one. And I would say watch out because we all know Bama could be scary. We've seen what Kalen DeBoer did with Washington. He's more than capable of doing it with Alabama. Yeah, Alabama is very scary. Now, I believe Alabama only play like Mercer. They play Mercer next. Since we're here, I'm going to go over some schedules. Alabama plays Mercer, Oklahoma, and Auburn. 3 winnable games. Now, we know Auburn with the Egg Bowl. Not Egg Bowl, excuse me. Oh, my God. Egg Bowl is Mississippi State. What is Iron Bowl? Auburn with the Iron Bowl. Anything can happen in those. So that's a potential upset alert. But other than that, I got them winning the other 2 games. I was looking for Ole Miss's schedule, the rest of Ole Miss's schedule. I guess they don't play this week because they're not up here. So I got to go to next week. Ole Miss plays. Where's Ole Miss? They play Florida next. So their last 2 games are Florida and Mississippi State. 2 winnable games to go to 10-2 and make the playoffs. So shout out to Ole Miss, shout out Bama. They're going to be dangerous in that playoff, man. But we got to move on to major performances. I got to run through these real quick. Trying to get your Tuesday night previews and keep it pushing. Where's my cheering? Let's get my cheering real quick. So I got a couple. I don't got as much as the past 2 weeks, but I got a couple. So we're going to start with Justin Bowick, Ball State, 8 171 yards. Reggie Virgil, wide receiver, Miami of Ohio, 5 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Telly Johnson, running back, Northern Illinois, 23 carries, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jaden Nixon, running back, Western Michigan, 12 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Caden Howard, quarterback, ECU, East Carolina, 17-22, 343 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 carries, 52 yards, and a rushing touchdown, so 6 total. Anthony Smith, wide receiver, East Carolina, 3 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Taylor Morin, wide receiver, Wake Forest, 9 catches, 110 yards. Jacob Gill, 6 catches, 138 yards for Iowa. TJ Harden, running back, UCLA, 20 carries, 125 yards. Mario Anderson, running back, Memphis, 25 carries, 144 yards, and a touchdown. Eli Sanders, running back, New Mexico, 16 carries, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Rocket Sanders, running back, 15 carries, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 catches for 52 yards, and a touchdown for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Kai Robichaux, running back, Boston College, 28 carries, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Runday Gadsden, tight end, Syracuse, 9 catches, 114 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Noel, wide receiver, Iowa State, 6 catches, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Devin Neal, running back, 18 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns for Kansas. Quentin Skinner, wide receiver, Kansas, 4 catches, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama, 12-18, 109 yards, 12 carries, 185 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State, 34 carries, 209 yards, and 3 touchdowns, which is pretty much an average game by him. And Wayshawn Parker, running back, Washington State, 11 carries, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, that's it for my Week 11 recap. We're going to go preview these Tuesday night football games. Tonight we have 3 action games for Week 12, and we're going to start with Ball State at Buffalo. You catch this game 7 o'clock on CBSN. Now, Buffalo is 4.5-point favorites at home tonight as of recording. I looked at the odds literally about 30 minutes, no, probably an hour ago. Ball State, you got to get the ball to Justin Bowick. You see he had an amazing game, big plays last week for Ball State. Caden Semenza has to protect the football. He was turnover prone, but he has 9 interceptions on the year. Got to protect the football against the Buffalo defense. Run the football. Run at Buffalo. You got to establish the run. I feel like Ball State did not do a good job trying to establish the run. They actually went away from the run, in my opinion. Try to establish it against Buffalo. Contain Aljae Henderson because Buffalo is a heavy run team, and Aljae Henderson is the main component of that. You got to force Buffalo to pass the ball. And you got to get off the field on 3rd down because you're last on 3rd down percentage and the MAC on defense. Now, for Buffalo, run Aljae Henderson. Obviously, you're a run-heavy team. Have to convert on 3rd down. They are second to last on 3rd down conversions as an offense. Pressure Caden Semenza. They're 10th in pass defense, so you got to get some pressure on the guy. You got to force turnovers, and you got to get the ball to Victor Snow. Now, my winner in this one, I'm going with Ball State. Ball State showed me something last week against Miami of Ohio. I think Ball State, they're not that good against the run, but I think that they knowing that Buffalo wants to run, there's not really an element to the pass with Buffalo. See, with Miami of Ohio, Blaine Gabbert, there's an element to the pass. I think Ball State sells out to stop the run, and they do a really good job offensively to move the ball against Buffalo. And I think they get a really huge home win to try to fight for bowl eligibility against Buffalo. Next, we got Western Michigan at Bowling Green. Bowling Green's 8.5-point favorites. Bowling Green is looking like one of the best teams in the MAC this year. Catch this game 7 o'clock on ESPN2. Western Michigan has to contain Terrion Stewart. They have to. Hayden Wolf has to protect the football, man. 2 interceptions last week, back to back. Anyway, got to protect that football against Bowling Green, or they'll make you pay. You got to key in on Harold Fannin. Harold Fannin is the best receiver, on the Bowling Green offense. Got to run the ball with Jalen Buckley and Jaden Nixon. And you got to stop Bowling Green in the red zone. Bowling Green is first in the red zone in the MAC. Now, for Bowling Green, get the ball to Harold Fannin. Like I said, one of the best players on that offense. Clock control. They are third in the MAC in clock control. So control that clock, score points against Western Michigan. Stop the run. Make Hayden Wolf have to throw the ball and force some turnovers. Got to win the turnover battle. Like I said, Hayden Wolf with those turnovers late game. Western Michigan in general with the turnovers last week was the major factor of them losing to Northern Illinois. And you got to run Terrion Stewart. That's part of the clock control. And my winner, this one's going to be Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green is going to do a great job establishing the run against Western Michigan, controlling the clock. We seen Northern Illinois had no problem running the ball last week against Western Michigan. I don't think that's going to change for Bowling Green this week. Control the clock. And I think they force some turnovers against Western Michigan, which forces Western Michigan to have to try to speed up, and that ultimately leads to more turnovers. So give me Bowling Green to win that one at home. And lastly, we have Central Michigan at Toledo, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. Toledo's coming into this one as 14.5-point favorites in this game. Now, if you're Central Michigan, you got to run Marion Lukes, obviously. Got to run the ball with Marion Lukes. She's your best player, I believe, on this offense. Got to pressure Tucker Gleason, get him on the ground, get off the field. Have to be better passing. They had like 1 completion in the first half. I think they had like 6 completions in the entire game last week. You have to figure out this passing game. Got to key in on Juwan Newton, the best receiver for Toledo, and force third and longs because they are 4th in third down conversion percentage on defense. Now, Toledo, get the ball to Juwan Newton, obviously. Get the ball to your best playmaker. Have to establish a run game. They're 9th in rushing offense. You got to establish some type of run game to open up the passing game. Got to force turnovers against Central Michigan. Looks like you're going to have to force some fumbles because Central Michigan not really good at passing. Get CMU in passing situations. If you can get them in passing situations, at least them turning the ball over, and they're not really good passing, so that leads to you getting off the field. And you have to stay in short third down and distances because Central Michigan is 5th in the MAC against the pass. Now, I do have Toledo winning this game only because Central Michigan's passing game is very lackluster. Don't think Central Michigan can just run the ball to beat Toledo. And I don't have belief in Central Michigan to just all of a sudden develop a passing game. Now, I do think this game might be closer than 14.5 points. So I have Toledo winning, but I don't have Toledo winning in a blowout. But that's all I have for y'all today. Now, I do want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about, I did want to see if UVA was bowl eligible after the big win against Pitt. UVA, I just seen the UVA Pitt game. Hold on. Pitt was ranked. Where's this game at? All right, here we go. UVA is now currently 5-4, so they're 1 game away from bowl eligibility. I would love for Anthony Calandria to make a bowl game. They finished the year with Notre Dame, SMU, and VTech, so it's going to be a tough road to get in the bowl eligibility. Currently at 5-4, they have to win one of their next 3, or hope there's not enough bowl teams and they get invited. But the UVA's had a pretty good season, in my opinion. Tough road for the last 3. Also want to shout out Jacksonville State. Shout out to the Gamecocks remaining undefeated in Conference USA. Completed the Hail Mary pass to do so. Missed the extra point to win the overtime, but they went down, scored the touchdown. I believe Trey Stewart scored the touchdown. And on 4th and 1, got off the field with a sack to win the game against Louisiana Tech. Thought that was one of those trap games. I didn't think that initially coming into the game. As I was watching, like, this is a trap game. Oh, my God, this is a trap game. But they remain undefeated in Conference USA, and they become bowl eligible yet again. I believe they are eligible to go to the Conference USA Championship and to go to the bowl game this year. I believe all those things moving up to the FBS are over with for Jack State. So shout out Rich Rod putting together another good product for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks as they look to make their first Conference USA championship. And I hope they win it, man. Y'all know I'm rooting for Jack State. I think I picked them to win the Conference USA championship. It was either them or Liberty. I can't remember. I think I actually picked Liberty. But shout out to them. It's looking like Jacksonville State versus Western Kentucky for the Conference USA championship. Now, with that being said, it's either Western Kentucky finally wins one that now that UTSA is out of Conference USA, or Jack State gets it in their second year in Conference USA, which shout out to them for that. The College Football Playoff Committee rankings come out tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. Championship Classic is tonight, starting with MSU and Kansas at 6:30. Looking forward to that. Like I said, be on the lookout for the short for that. But that's all I got for y'all today. And until tomorrow, when I do my Week 12 weekday preview, I'm gone.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.